Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. By far, the biggest storyline heading into this Michigan USC game is the change at quarterback that Michigan's going to be going through heading into this USC matchup. With Alex Orji being the quarterback one within this Michigan offense, I think it unlocks a lot of different things Michigan can do specifically in the run game. And although we haven't seen Alex Orji be that quarterback one yet during his Michigan career, there's a lot of film, there's a lot of tape and examples of how Michigan wants to use Alex Orji. You want to cut up a few of those examples, kind of dive into the film and talk about some concepts that I would expect Michigan to go to against USC with Alex Orji at that quarterback one spot. Now, before we get into it, as always, the Michigan fans, I can't thank you guys enough for all the support y'all have shown the boys over the last couple of weeks as we've talked about this quarterback situation. Support means the world. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. Much more importantly, would love to hear from you guys in terms of how you want to see Alex Orji in this Michigan offense operate Saturday afternoon. And without further ado, let's get into this one. I think the most important conversation before we get into some of the film in terms of what we've seen Alex Orji do is that there's no secret coming into this football game. This is going to be a very run heavy Michigan offense that we see Saturday against USC. Now, if you're going to be quote unquote kind of one dimensional in terms of the rushing attack, it is very important that the rushing attack is multidimensional, right? You have this USC defense coached by Danton Lynn, who's done a phenomenal job for USC, coming in and say, hey, we're going to squeeze down on this Michigan offense. We are expecting them to run the football a lot in this football game. And I think as Michigan fans know, we're not going to see Alex Orji throw the football 40 to 50 times. And so if USC is expecting you to run the football a lot, you got to be really creative in terms of how you're running the football. USC might not need to do a ton in terms of accounting for this Michigan passing attack, but you got to make them do a lot in terms of accounting for all the different ways you can run the football against USC on Saturday. Want to dive into a couple of different concepts we've seen Alex Orji have, but I think one of the bright spots for Alex Orji being the quarterback one for Michigan, I think it's going to force Sherrone Moore to lean into the talent of this Michigan offense and lean into the best pieces of this Michigan offense, right? If you were to kind of look at the personnel, where is Michigan at its best? Tight ends, running backs. You're going to see a lot of two tight end sets. You're probably going to see a lot of two running back sets. And so with Alex Orji at quarterback, it is forcing Sherrone Moore and Kirk Campbell to get those kind of players on the football field, which I think is really exciting. Now, the first concept that we've seen Alex Orji kind of get to use with is just the quarterback power. And I think you have running backs such as Benjamin Haller, Kalel Mullings, who are very capable of being lead blockers. But I think more importantly, you look at Alex Orji and say, we want to lean into one of your biggest skill sets, and that is your size and speed, right? At 6'3", 230 pounds, Alex Orji is not one of those quarterbacks that we have to be concerned taking 15 to 20 hits a game because he's big enough to manage that workload. And I think one of the concepts we see is, hey, Alex Orji is getting it done with himself, right? Simple power where we're down blocking with the offensive line. We're pulling around our guards using, I think this is Benjamin Hall in this case, but it'll probably be a lot of Kalel Mullings to just go ahead and lead the way. In getting Alex Orji working vertically, I think that's going to be really important because this kid is an absolute load to bring down. You see him work through contact, kind of dragging tacklers. That's Alex Orji at his best when he's working vertical as a ball carrier. So I do think you're going to see a lot of quarterback power, but I think what's really interesting in terms of the different ways Michigan can use Alex Orji, what about some kind of jet sweep motions? Now, this one is an example of Samaj Morgan coming in motion here. One, you're going to see all the linebackers kind of filter in. Now, Alex Orji is going to have two kind of keys right now, right? You could certainly hand the football off to Samaj Morgan, get him out with the lead blocker and Benjamin Hall on the edge. Or if you see these linebackers kind of filling in to go out to the perimeter, you can keep it yourself and you can get downhill and be an athlete. Alex Orji can do that as well. Probably should be a touchdown if he doesn't get tripped up. So kind of what we're getting at early is that Michigan's going to run the football a lot. But with Alex Orji at quarterback, you have so many different ways that you can run the football. So although Michigan might be predictable in terms of, yeah, we're going to run the football probably 40 times in this football game, we're going to run the football in a multitude of different ways with a multitude of different looks and personnel groupings. Last one I really like that we go back to the national championship here is the kind of the classic read option, but the read option being kind of cued for Alex Orji to keep this football. Right. You take a look, we're coming out of motion here, and you're going to see Colson Loveland just get out to the perimeter. So one, Alex Orji's reading, he's going to keep it, but you're going to spring Colson Loveland out to the perimeter, and this is exactly what you want it to look like. Like if you can get this look with Alex Orji in space with a guy like Colson Loveland working lead blocking down the field, this is going to result for a lot of success within this Michigan program. And so those were just a few clips, and you kind of go back to Alex Orji in terms of what we've seen from him over the last couple of years. There's a lot of different ways that Michigan can run the football with Alex Orji at quarterback. Now, the second thing I want to talk about is how do we throw the football? Because I don't think Alex Orji is going to be the quarterback one, and we're not going to throw it, period. We're going to throw it. We're not going to throw the football a lot, but at points, Michigan's going to have to try to throw the football. And how do we give Alex Orji the best chance to be successful throwing the football? I think the first conversation is, and Lincoln Riley said this, Sherrone Moore said this, look, you're not a quarterback at Michigan if you just can't throw, period. Look, I can't throw, period. And so there's not a throw on the football field you could ask me to make that I could be successful doing. Alex Orji, although is probably not the best pure passer of the football in that Michigan quarterback room, certainly can throw the football. Like we know this kid can throw the football a million miles per hour. We know he can push the ball down the field. Now, the accuracy and the processing, that's been kind of the rut for Alex Orji. Couple of different things that you can do to allow Alex Orji to maybe have a little bit of confidence. And the first thing I want to go to is what we saw against Fresno State week 1, where Alex Orji comes in the goal line package and you're just going to get him out to the perimeter. One, getting your quarterback out to the perimeter makes it a lot easier in terms of processing. But I think more importantly, it gives Alex Orji the ability to use his best skill set, and that is his movement and athleticism. And so you take a look at this play here. Well, we're just going to get Alex Orji to the perimeter. We're going to give him essentially that run pass option, right? You got Donovan Edwards in the flat, which is where they go to and they stroll it in for a touchdown. But if this defender right here wants to run with Donovan Edwards, you're giving Alex Orji the chance to kind of go through his progressions, right? You have someone sitting here, you have Colson Loveland coming over the top, or Alex Orji could just make somebody miss and take it himself. But at the end of the day, you're giving Alex Orji some easy access throws to the perimeter to kind of get him in rhythm in terms of throwing the football. Pitch and catch to Donovan Edwards, takes it in for a touchdown. Now, what I think is probably the singular most important aspect to this Michigan game is if they're able to punish USC once or twice, pushing the ball down the field explosively. You take a look at when Alex Orji's in at quarterback, and you're going to see USC do this plenty with Alex Orji, right? It gives you an extra blocker because your quarterback can carry the football. Defenses are going to have to account for that. They're going to start squeezing down their safeties. Their linebackers are going to be taking steps in. This USC defense is no doubt going to try to smother Michigan along the lines of scrimmage. When you get this kind of look and you're Michigan and you're Alex Orji, you have to be able to make this defense pay, right? We're sitting at 1st and 10. We're going to go heavy play action. Look at where these safeties are. I mean, 6 yards off the line of scrimmage. This is probably what you're going to see from USC at points during this game. Do you have the ability to make them pay with this throw? Now, I know Alex Orji misses this throw to Frederick Moore. Probably should have gone for a touchdown. You can talk about Alex Orji overthrowing it. You can talk about Frederick Moore kind of coming up and not running the route the right way. At the end of the day, Michigan's going to have those opportunities, and Michigan has to be able to capitalize on one of those two plays. If Michigan doesn't hit one of those two plays, that will, I think, inevitably be there on Saturday afternoon. It's hard to see them winning this football game. But if they can hit some of those plays, those game-changing, explosive plays down the field, I think that's how this Michigan offense looks the best. Again, how many shots like this are we going to take in the game? Probably 3 to 4 tops. Can you hit on 2 of them to change this game? That's probably the big question that us Michigan fans have for Alex Orji at quarterback. At the end of the day, it's kind of difficult to really know what to expect because we haven't seen Alex Orji operate as a true quarterback one of this Michigan offense. We're not really sure how consistently he can throw the football. We're not really sure how accurately and consistently he can throw the football. That being said, I think a lot of Michigan fans are just excited. Like at the end of the day, Alex Orji playing football and playing the quarterback position for Michigan, it's one of your best athletes playing quarterback. I think the most important thing is Kurt Campbell and Sherrone Moore leaning into what Alex Orji can do, and obviously Alex Orji executing when he needs to execute. We'll cut it there. Again, appreciate you guys rocking with the fellas. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. Appreciate you guys, and we'll talk to y'all